All right, so today we are going deep, deep on Riesling Renano.
Oh, yeah.
You have given me like a whole book on this one grape.
It's a big topic.
I love it. So we are talking
Lots to unpack.
serious connoisseur level stuff today.
Definitely. I think Riesling Renano,
Yeah.
people kind of write it off as just like a simple, sweet white wine.
Yeah.
But it's so much more complex than that.
Okay, I'm ready
There's a lot of nuance.
to be challenged to it. So let's just jump right in.
Okay.
Why even call it Renano? Is it like champagne? Like named after a place?
It is, yeah. Renano refers to the Rhine River region in Germany.
Okay.
And that's really where Riesling kind of made its name in the world. It's where it's been cultivated for centuries.
Okay, so steeped in history.
Yeah.
And, speaking of that, this book has a whole section on
I was going to say.
terroirs of election.
Yes.
And I love that because it's not just about the grape, right? It's like the whole environment
Absolutely. Terroir is everything.
that it grows in, yeah.
Especially with Riesling. We're talking about soil, climate, the amount of sunlight. All of these things have huge impacts on that final flavor.
Makes sense.
It's like
the wine remembers where it's from or something.
Yeah, exactly.
He carries that with
it. So, okay, so Germany, obviously the heartland, but I'm also seeing in here that it's being made in all these other places too.
Yeah.
So is Germany still like the gold standard or?
I mean, they're the OG, right? They're the originators.
Right.
But, like any good story, Riesling has traveled.
Sure.
And it's found new homes in Alsace, France, Austria, and even in the New World. Places like Washington State, Oregon, Australia,
Wow.
New Zealand are producing fantastic Rieslings now.
Okay. How do they stack up? I mean, do they even compare or?
I mean, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
They all bring something unique to the table.
Okay.
But no matter where it's grown, there are certain characteristics that make a Riesling a Riesling. Okay, yeah, give it to me. What am I looking for in a glass?
Okay, so first and foremost, acidity, like mouth-watering vibrancy.
Okay.
It's what gives Riesling that signature zesty freshness.
I like it.
And then it can range from bone dry to lusciously sweet.
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Which is where things get really, really interesting.
Because I've always been, I'll be honest, the German wine classification system.
Yeah.
I see Cabernet, I see Spitlese, I'm immediately like,
Intimidating. Right.
yeah, like I need a dictionary. Can you break it down?
I know, it seems very technical.
Yeah.
It's really all about the ripeness of the grapes at harvest.
Oh, okay.
So Cabernet wines,
yeah,
those are going to be from grapes that were harvested a little earlier in the season.
Okay.
So they're going to be a little bit lighter, lower in alcohol, usually off dry or dry.
Okay.
Spitlese, on the other hand, uses later harvest grapes.
Okay.
So they have a little bit more weight, richer,
Got it.
and a little bit more pronounced sweetness.
So if I'm doing like spicy Thai food,
Yes. What am I grabbing? Cabinet's going to be your best friend.
Cabernet.
Yeah, that bright acidity, touch of sweetness will cut through all that spice.
I love it. All right, I can't let you go any further without talking about this because I circled it.
Oh, boy.
What is a petrol note?
I knew you were going to ask me about that.
Why is that in my wine?
It sounds a little strange,
It does.
but it's a very, very good thing, trust me.
Okay.
So think about the aroma of a just struck match,
Okay.
but very elegant and refined.
Okay.
Like a very high-end match.
So not like a gas-soaked rag.
No,
Okay.
not at all. It's very subtle, complex, and it's actually a sign of a mature, well-aged Riesling.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's cool.
So it's like a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
Okay.
It adds a whole other layer to that already fascinating aroma profile.
Yeah, because we're talking citrus, we're talking like white flowers. I'm seeing honey in here.
Yeah, you get it all.
That's making me thirsty.
It's delicious.
And also, it says you can pair it with cheese.
Riesling is probably the most versatile food wine out there.
Really?
I think so. That acidity cuts through rich cheeses beautifully. And then those aromas complement everything from a fruit tart to a creme brulee.
Okay, I'm learning so much already.
Good, good.
I kind of wrote Riesling off as kind of like a one-trick pony.
I know, a lot of people do.
But I'm seeing the error of my ways.
So dynamic.
Yeah, this is great. Okay,
Well, it's fun.
so that's just scratching the surface.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Because now we got to talk about all these legendary producers.
Okay, let's go.
Like we got to talk about Egon Miller. Like these are
The king of Riesling.
names that you hear and you're like,
Legendary. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
His wines are incredible, known for their concentration, their complexity,
Yeah.
and they age for decades.
Wow. Okay, this is a whole world.
It is.
All right. Well, I am ready to dive in.
Let's do it.
Egon Mueller, the king of Riesling.
He's earned the title.
That's a name. Yeah. You hear that, you don't forget it.
You don't.
Okay, so we were talking about Egon Mueller,
Yeah.
but there's this other name that keeps popping up.
Okay.
Joe Prum.
Oh, yes.
What's the deal with them?
Their wines they're known for their elegance, their purity.
Okay.
Often they have this really pronounced mineral character,
Okay.
almost like wet stones, spring water, that kind of thing.
Is that terroir thing again?
It is. It all comes back to terroir.
Wow.
Their vineyards are primarily in the Moselle region,
Okay.
which is known for those really steep slate hillsides
Right.
that kind of come right up out of the river.
Dramatic.
Yeah. And the book mentions their Williner Sonnener Oslice. Have you heard of that one?
No, but I love that it translates to sundial.
I know, it's so evocative, right?
It is. It's beautiful.
Because the vineyards literally are like sundials.
Yeah.
They're on these steep inclines. The soil reflects the sun.
Wow. And you can taste that.
You can taste
In the gold.
You can taste the sunshine.
That's amazing. Okay, so we've got those two.
Yeah.
And then also, I see Dr. Lucen
Another legend.
and Schloss Johannesburg.
Yes. So Dr. Lucen is known for wines that are really expressive,
Okay.
but still very approachable. You know,
Okay.
they're not too austere. They have a really nice balance.
Got it. Got it.
And then Schloss Johannesburg, they've got this incredible history
Oh,
dating back over like 1,000 years.
no way.
They're considered to be one of the oldest Riesling estates in the world.
So you could literally spend a lifetime
Kid,
just exploring German Riesling.
you really could.
But we do have to venture out.
We do.
We have to at least talk about some of these other regions.
Okay.
So what about Alsace? How are their Rieslings different?
So Alsace is a really great example of how, like, the same grape
Okay.
can express itself in totally different ways depending on where it's grown.
Okay, cool.
So Alsace Rieslings, they tend towards a drier style.
Okay.
They often have a bit more body. And you get that minerality again because the soils are very unique there.
Okay, so if German Riesling is like the really bold friend,
Yes.
Alsace is like,
a little more reserved.
Okay.
A little more like contemplative,
I like it.
you know.
Yeah, okay.
But just as interesting, just as complex.
Give me some names.
Okay, you want names?
Yeah, who should I be looking out for?
You can't go wrong with Trimbach.
Trimbach. Okay.
They are all about showcasing the purity of the grape
Nice.
and the terroir.
Love it.
Their Close Sante Hune Riesling is legendary.
The Sante Huna.
Yeah, write that one down.
Noted. All right.
Put it on the list.
On to Austria.
Okay.
How are we feeling about Austrian Riesling?
All right, so if German Riesling is like the bold, expressive one,
Okay.
Austrian Riesling is like the elegant sibling.
Okay.
They're known for these really crisp, like laser-focused flavors.
Okay.
Bright acidity, and again, that pronounced minerality.
Minerality is like a theme here.
It's a theme, especially in Austrian Riesling,
Okay.
because a lot of those vineyards are planted on these like mountainous slopes.
Right?
So you get those like rocky mineral influences in the wine.
So we're not talking like big, jammy, fruity flavors.
No, not so much.
Okay.
Think more like restrained, nuanced.
Got it.
You know,
Steely. Okay.
yeah.
But that doesn't mean boring.
Not at all.
Okay.
They're incredibly complex, especially as they age.
Okay, now you've got me intrigued.
Yeah.
Who should I try?
All right, so FX Pichler
Okay.
is a fantastic producer to start with.
FX Pichler. Got it.
Their wines from the Wachau region are world-renowned.
Oh, watch out.
And then also Prager and Brundelmeyer are top-notch.
Okay.
They're known for wines that are like delicious young,
Okay.
but can also age for decades.
Amazing. Okay, we have to talk about New World Riesling
But let's do it.
because I'm seeing it everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Washington State, Oregon,
New Zealand.
New Zealand. It's all over the place. What's happening there?
I think it's exciting
Yeah.
to see Riesling finding its footing in these newer wine regions.
Okay.
It speaks to the versatility of the grape
Yeah.
and the passion of these winemakers
Okay.
who are like, hey, we could do this too.
Yeah.
And they're doing a great job. Washington State, in particular,
Yeah.
has this really unique climate and soil
Okay.
that's actually very well suited to Riesling.
Give me some names.
Okay, names.
You need recommendations?
So, Chateau Saint Michel.
Okay.
They're a classic for a reason.
Oh,
They
cool.
make really great, like, quintessential Washington Riesling.
Okay. All right, I'm writing it down.
But if you want something a little different,
Yeah.
seek out Kung Fu Girl Riesling.
Kung Fu Girl. Okay.
I know, it's a great name.
It's fantastic.
Then it's a fantastic example of how New World winemakers
Okay.
are putting their own spin on this, like, traditional grape.
I love that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
I feel like my mind is blown wide open.
Yeah. About how diverse Riesling is.
Yeah, it's not just one thing.
No, and all the different regions.
It's a journey.
The producers.
It is.
We talked about food pairings, aging.
And that petrol note.
Oh, the petrol.
Don't forget the petrol.
Which I'm still a little, like, I'm trying to wrap my head around.
It's one of those things you just have to experience.
Okay, but it's not, I shouldn't be afraid. Like, it's not.
It's not like sticking your nose in a gas tank.
Okay.
No.
Right.
It's much more subtle than that.
All
It's integrated, you know?
Okay.
It's like imagine a hint of flint or kerosene, but then it's interwoven with these honeyed notes,
Okay.
right? Citrus, and those characteristic Riesling floral aromas.
So it adds, like, a complexity.
It adds complexity. It's this intriguing, savory dimension.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try that.
You have to.
I have to seek out a bottle
You should
that has that petrol note.
do it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I think you'll really enjoy it.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, but for those of us just starting out,
Yeah.
where do we even begin?
Don't be afraid to experiment.
Okay.
That's the beauty of Riesling. There's a style for everyone.
Okay.
If you like your wines bone dry, you
Yeah.
can find a Riesling for that.
Okay.
If you like a little bit of sweetness,
Yeah.
there's a Riesling for that.
There's options.
There's options.
Okay. So if I see Cabernet, if I see Spätlese.
Those are good starting points,
Okay.
especially if you're looking for something off dry or dry.
What about sweetness levels for the other regions? Like,
Great question.
how do I know?
So outside of Germany,
Yeah.
you'll often see the sweetness level
Okay.
indicated on the bottle.
Helpful.
Yeah, so look for terms like
Right. Yeah.
dry, off dry, or semi-sweet.
Super helpful.
Yeah, they want you to know.
Yeah. They want you to be happy.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Don't be afraid to ask your local wine shop either.
That's true. They're there to help.
They are a wealth of knowledge.
Okay. So I find my bottle.
Yes.
What's the serving temperature?
Okay, good question. You want it chilled,
Okay.
but not too cold.
What?
Yeah, because if it's too cold,
Okay.
it's going to mask some of those beautiful aromas and flavors.
Interesting.
So I would say around 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Warmer than you think.
It's a little bit warmer than you might think.
Okay, I'm learning so much.
This is good.
This is great.
This is what we like.
So we've talked about the history, we've talked about the different regions.
Yeah, and the producers.
The producers, food pairing.
We talked about aging.
Aging, petrol.
Yeah.
What else is there to know about Riesling?
Well, we've covered a lot.
I feel like we have.
We really have.
Yeah.
But there's one more thing I think it's worth touching on.
Okay.
And that's this whole concept of minerality in wine.
Okay, yeah, we keep saying that word.
It keeps coming up.
Minerality, but what does it actually mean?
It's a great question. And it's one that has, kind of puzzled wine enthusiasts for centuries.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not so simple.
So it's like one of those undefinable things.
Yeah, there's no
Or-
instrument that measures minerality.
Right.
It's more
Well,
of
it can't be like, yeah, this is a 9 on the minerality scale.
Right, exactly. It's more of a sensory experience.
Okay, so when you say, like, we were talking about it tasting like wet stones,
Right.
is that what we're talking about? That
Yeah.
kind of,
That stone on
like, almost salty, tangy kind of,
earthy character that you get
yeah.
that adds complexity
Oh,
and a certain depth.
got it.
That's a good way to describe it. But here's the thing.
Okay.
We can't just say, like, oh, the minerals are being absorbed from the soil
Right.
and going straight into the grapes.
Right.
It's a little more complicated than that.
Okay, so what's the theory? If it's not literal minerals, like, what's going on?
So the most likely explanation
Yeah.
is that it's this really complex interaction
Apple.
between the soil, the climate, the grape itself,
Okay.
and even the way the wine is made.
So it's like all those factors coming together.
Exactly. It's like this perfect storm
Okay.
of elements. And Riesling, with
Yeah.
its thin skins, it seems to be really, really good
Okay.
at reflecting these subtle nuances of the environment.
Wow, so it's almost like it's telling the story of where it's from.
It is.
Like it's whispering the secrets of the terroir.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you're picking up on something
Okay.
because I'm putting minerality in quotes
Yeah, why is that?
because it's not, like a
Yeah.
scientifically proven quantifiable thing.
Right, okay.
It's this perceived quality.
Got it.
So there's a lot of research still being done
Okay.
on like what exactly causes this mineral character.
Okay.
Some people think it's certain compounds in the soil.
Okay.
Other people think it's, the way that the vine interacts
Okay.
with those elements,
Yeah.
what kind of nutrients it's drawing up.
So it's still kind of a mystery.
A little bit, yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it's not that. Okay.
But that's part of what makes wine so fascinating.
It is.
It's like this ongoing conversation.
Yeah.
We're always learning something new.
This is great. So, okay, we're wrapping up this deep dive.
Yeah.
People are inspired.
Yes.
They want to go out.
Please do.
They want to explore the world of Riesling.
Yes.
What do they need to remember?
Don't be intimidated.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing. There's a Riesling out there for everyone.
Yeah.
If you don't like a certain style, try a different one.
Okay.
Talk to your local wine shop. Experiment. Find what you like.
Love it. Well, this was fantastic.
This was fun.
I learned so much. This was great.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to Riesling.
Cheers to Riesling.
I'm going to go get a glass right now.
Me too.